Hello guys, Chef Evelyn Ijama here. Let's make efo riro, which is a type of Nigerian vegetable soup. For this recipe, we'll be needing some spinach, also called green in Nigeria and popularly known as African spinach. You can use the foreign spinach available in most supermarkets like ShopRite if that's what you have. Also, we're using some red and yellow Scotch bonnet pepper blended coarsely with some onion. I'll also be using some sliced onion to amplify the flavor further. I'll be using some iru called locust beans or dada. I'll be using some salt, some dried prawns, Cameroon pepper, and seasoning cubes, some goat meat, cow tripe, and pomo, also known as cow skin, some palm oil, some stockfish, and some dried catfish. Blending the crayfish and preparing the vegetable. You can see that I'm cutting my efo leaves in big chunks because that's the vibe of the soup. When making other Nigerian vegetable soup, you can go ahead and slice the vegetables in small bits. Okay, now it's time to blanch our vegetable, and to blanch it we're needing some hot water. Blanching helps to kill some insects like worms, ants that are in the vegetables. It also helps to get rid of the pesticides and other chemicals that were used to preserve the leaves and fertilizers as well. Then the good side to this also is that it helps you to shrink the vegetable, thereby reducing the cooking time and enabling you to easily maneuver mixing your sauce and vegetable, if that makes sense. So this is what the blanched vegetable looks like after rinsing it in cold water and squeezing out excess water. It's time to boil our meat. Adding some seasoning cubes, some salt, some of our pepper mix, some onion, more seasoning cubes, because I like to mix my seasoning cubes, like use different brands just to amplify the flavor and give it a distinct taste. So you want to mix that thoroughly. Cover and let it sweat out in its own juice. Now we're back. Look at what it looks like. It has released its own water. It's time to add our stockfish, give that a good mix to ensure that everything mixes well together. So you should do some stirring here and there. Now the next is to go in with some water. That will be enough to cook the meat. If you do not get the accurate measurement, from time to time you can just add water where needed. Okay, but this should be enough to cook this particular one. Now after 25 minutes I'm back. You can see that the water have evaporated and reduced in quantity, which is what I am going for, and the meat is nice and tender now. When making vegetable soup, you don't need a lot of stock except you want to save it to use for another recipe. Now to an empty pot, you add some palm oil or red oil as it is called in Nigeria. Want to let that heat up for a while, and please be very generous with your red oil when cooking efo riro. So oil police, please move forward. So now that it's hot, you just introduce some of the onion and let it fry. I'll give that a good stir. Keep stirring at intervals so that it doesn't burn. Then I'll add my Ero or locust beans to this mix. When making a vegetable soup, you have to be patient in this process of frying, because if you miss it, your soup will not come out nice. I introduce the pepper mix and fry further. Keep frying, keep stirring. Then after some while, I'll add some part of the ground crayfish and ground prawn. Give that a good stir. Cook for like 2 more minutes. Add some salt and adjust the seasoning. Please guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you. So stir to combine. Keep stirring and cover for a bit. Now look what we have here. The palm oil is floating and the pepper mix, it has shrunk in size to show you that it's ready. I'm adding my catfish right now because the catfish is a soft one. If it's a hard one you're using, you should put it earlier, okay? Now look what it looks like. I'm introducing the stockfish and all the protein I'm using for this recipe. Guys, just look at this. This is so beautiful, so beautiful. The aroma in the kitchen is something else. So give that a good stir, and you have to leave this to cook for like a minute, just to allow the sauce to penetrate into the protein and the protein to release its flavor into the sauce, right? Please hit the subscribe button and like this video at this point. So cover for a bit, and after a few seconds, this is what it looks like. It's time to add our vegetable to the sauce. See how our vegetable is already shrunk, so it will be easy to manipulate. See how green it is, and this is how the color will be when you bring down your soup from the fire, which is such a good advantage. You should start blanching your vegetables, okay? Now you want to mix that thoroughly. If I didn't blanch this vegetable, there's no way I would be using this size of pot to cook this particular soup. I would have used something bigger. So this is what it looks like. I'll just leave that to simmer for a few seconds, then I'll be adding more seasoning. I just wanted to adjust the seasoning. Stir that thoroughly. Then I'm adding crayfish powder for a special effect. If you've not been doing this, you should start doing it. A few seconds to when you're dropping your soup from the fire, just add some crayfish powder. And now I'm adding some prawn powder because I have it. Crayfish powder will be fine, or you can combine the both depending on what you have, okay? So just stir that. I've turned off the heat at this point. Now our delicious pot of efo riro is ready to be eaten. It can be served with pounded yam, semo, fufu, eba, or any swallow of your choice. It can also be eaten with white rice, boiled yam, and plantain. So do you, alright? Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe and share with your friends. See you on my next video. Bye.